Hello and welcome to the World of AI podcast. My name is Andre, and today we have a guest within our show. And hello, Mona, how are you today?
Thanks, I'm very good. A little bit under the weather, as you can hear, but show must go on, right?
Show must go on, yeah, and that's normal at this time. We are humans and we are working with AI, but we are human. And I'm very happy to have our guest, Gregor Kasmann, with us. He's a very successful entrepreneur in Germany, has a lot of knowledge and AI skills within the AI business as well. And welcome, Gregor. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you. Happy to be here.
That's great. Will you say something about your person at the beginning?
About me, I created with a partner and professional service business, and after that we created on top of it a few applications built on top of this business. We were in a specific niche called Atlassian, where most of the developers know, like Jira, Confluence, two products which I created. Now they go fully into AI, so they created an AI product in the Atlassian cloud, and it was the motivation to dive deep much more into it and see what kind of nice application we can build maybe on top of it or build new AI application.
Yeah, that is very important to be at the beginning of the developments and to get the products ready for the whole entire audience outside. So let's talk a little bit about use cases. Do you see some of the use cases which you would like to address for the AI first?
Yeah, what I see right now, which is interesting, maybe two use cases which we can talk today about. One is AI in creativity business. Like right now it's transforming the art business, music, designs, for example, with Midjourney, Dolly, or Stable Fusion. I think these businesses are transforming very fast right now. Even you don't need any professionals anymore to build your own
Yeah, that's right. And on the other hand, currently I direct recognize which creativity or which art AI was made. So there's, from my point of view, it seems that the AI has a special kind of art, which is very focused in one direction, which is not so broad as a human currently. What is your impression about that?
I think Mona, you wanna go first?
Yeah, I mean, most people who know me very good. I mean, the public doesn't know that a lot about me, but the people that know me well know that I'm a huge hip hop fan, and I have a very clear opinion on hip hop in the last 20 years. I mean, my highlight of this year was really Eminem bringing out a new album because thank God the good hip hop is back, because it was so boring, as Andre just said, like this mainstream music is just like that's all the same, So I was hoping like maybe AI can make something better. So we have Tupac Shakur back in the game, right?
Mm.
Because we have AI. Because he's dead since 1996, obviously, right? Probably you know that, right? I mean, there were like already like hologram shows, like from Michael Jackson. Tupac Shakur was actually one of the first ones. I think they started like around 2012 to do that, which also goes in the direction of our world of AI at the end of the day, because obviously that human being was dead and not real, but still, like you could pay for a concert to watch a hologram, and people pay a lot of money for that, right? So looking at the creativity and the aspect, I mean, I'm also talking to many musicians, producers. We had, I think, earlier this year the Hollywood strike, right, where the people went on strike because they didn't want to give away their rights for the AI. Because I think that one of the key points was that if an actor is recording something, the production companies want to use the rights on that material to actually feed it into AI. And I think many of the artists were like, no, 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 no. I honestly haven't followed what the outcome was, to be very honest. I may have to research that again. But do you have an opinion, like, if you talk about AI and arts, right? What's your point on that? Like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Does it have like two coins of the, two sides
Yeah.
of the same coin? Like, what's your stake on that?
Yeah, it's I look at it as a computer scientist, so typically very analytical, and I always see the benefits in it. For example, I remember that even Michael Jackson is right now dead, right? But he produced an amazing music, let's go aside on his private life, don't forget it, but he produced good music for decades. And I remember I read that he even has a lot of not published art what he created, right? So if you can put everything now in an AI system, you can maybe generate beautiful new songs out of it, right? So it could benefit all of us. Or maybe the people who own the rights could benefit mostly of it. On the other hand, when I talk to creators, because I was talking now a lot of creators, I was thinking about building like a coaching AI. It's the same, like if you are for creators and they are afraid. They are so much afraid to lose control, what it will do, right? So if you teach the AI perfectly what you know, what you are, then someone can use it and you don't know how they are using it, right? So it can generate stuff in your name, but maybe you didn't want it to be answered like this, or you didn't want it to be created like this. So I think there's missing some kind of controlling system for the creator itself. So maybe if we can invent this kind of magic, maybe a second AI which is controlling it and asking you, would you answer it exactly like this? But if you scale it up to millions, if someone is using it, would be very difficult. So it's a chance. I think right now how we are using it as an assistant. So if you're a creative and you are using it to speed up your process, I think that is the best way to really enhance this new technology. So you're using this as an assistant. You teach it everything you know, how you would build your art, whatever it is, pictures, music, or designs, and then adjust it accordingly. I think right now, even for me, the process is speeding up. What I did in my workplace, what took me days of creating, it speeds up to hours, sometimes to minutes.
Completely. I completely agree. And this is a very interesting part you just mentioned. So how do we earn our money? That is one part at the end of the day. AI will speed up everything and will make our life more easier. And in the past, we used to get money for the wasted time. So we are not able to live our full potential and to give our full potential as human to the world because we have to do everything beside of that as well to get it transported. And now it's changing. So we are able to put our basic source and our soul, our purpose into the world, give it to an AI system, and the AI would what makes this rules, this sets, this thinking, their own thinking, and can multiply to the world. And that is very fascinating. So we have to learn that it is okay, as well as how we get our life finance at the other hand. So there's a gap currently, I guess.
This maybe give you a different perspective on that topic. I was thinking maybe I was asking myself, when does it make sense to use AI? I would never use AI as a newbie if you start my professional career, because I think you need a certain experience which takes time in a business, right? If you start doing AI at the beginning, you will lose a lot of momentum, you will lose a lot of lacking this kind of experience which you need at the end to do the quality insurance. So right now, I think you should start it when you're already fully like educated or trained in a specific area, and then you should learn creativity. And if someone tells you it's not possible, it's possible, because my professor in the university, so the funny part is I was studying computer science, and you can do in University of Dortmund, if you study computer science, you're doing 60% hard topic, and 40% you can have a part subject, and you can choose anything from archaeology, zoology to, so funny. So I chose psychology, and there was a course on creativity, and you can learn creativity even if you say I'm not a creative person, and you learned it. So I would right now, if you want to start doing AI, first choose a topic. If it's marketing, sales, development, I really would start from scratch, learn this topic perfectly with some experience, then learn creativity, and then use the systems to help you up to speed up the process. Because at the end, you still, right now, maybe in the future not, but you still need quality assurance. Because, the systems are sometimes lying, sometimes fantasizing, but if you don't know what you really want to achieve, you will miss the good quality. So it will produce maybe something which is not perfectly fitting for your topic, for your subject, and then you delivering not good stuff. I don't want to use a bad word, but you will produce something which nobody needs.
Yeah,
Garbage.
garbage. Yeah.
Can I challenge that a little bit?
Yes, please.
Because I think, and I mean, this is like, I'm just throwing that in. I want to see what your opinion on that is. Because one of the cool things of AI is that you don't have to know everything anymore. Because you can just ask and say, give me, like, I never done that before. What is the first 5 steps to get me started? So would there also be a world or a certain part of the work that we do that we can also use AI to just jump start faster? And then figure it out on the way, which probably needs a little bit more live testing in the real world. Like, I mean, in the IT space, we say beta test, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we beta test everything, and then we see let's see, make a soft launch first to see
Mm-hmm.
if everything works, or if that's really what they. I mean, big IT companies did that all the time already. Like when you developed a new app, right? You give it to a certain amount of users and say, give me feedback, right? Is there a world where you think AI could lead also to people? Now, obviously, you need a passion for business. Let's be realistic. Like some things are given, right? So hopefully nobody who's listening to this podcast comes on the idea to start a business that you have no idea about. That would not be so smart, you know? You should pick something that you are a little bit familiar with. But then if there are certain aspects in your business where you just don't know how to maybe make it better, you can, I think, use AI. It. Of course, you need to then test. You need to split test a lot. You need to test fast. And then you have to also make adjustments if something doesn't work. So you have to give that feedback mechanism back to AI and say, okay, I tried that, that doesn't work. Any other suggestions? Is there a world where you think that would also be a reality? Or would you say nah, because how do you want to judge that? Or takes
Mm-hmm.
too much time? So what's your point on that?
Beautiful, beautiful questions. I would structure it in two different ways. The one way, what you are talking is building products or building some kind of result to the world, which could be new. And that is a good way to get started if you don't know how, right? So you ask how to do it and you try it out. You do A, B, and it's beautiful. And I think that is something which I would use, yes. I would just start and see how it goes and adjust it on the way. That is a proven model for right now any startup I think, in US, especially in Silicon Valley. But the second topic could be more dangerous. Like if you, for example, you want to create a book about marketing. So you say, hey, create me a book about marketing, put me the chapters. How do you know that is the real truth how marketing goes? You need to double check it somehow. So you need some kind of quality assurance. Maybe you contract an external marketing guru who can test it, but you will never know, right? If you didn't do the same experience. Or maybe let's go a little bit in a topic which it's about lives. So if you use AI in, for example, scan X-rays to give you a professional opinion, am I sick or do I have some kind of tumor or cancer in it? And the AI say, yes, you have, or no, everything is fine, go live your life. So you don't visit a professional doctor. Could be more dangerous. So depending on the use case you're working on.
Yeah, I totally agree what you just said. So you need to have the experts at the end of the day who can who gives the second opinion or the third opinion. So it's again the concept, Mona, we already talked about, the human in the loop. So we need to have the human at the end to make their own decision that is okay, that is not okay, like in the normal conversation with any human as well. So we have humans who were experts in some fields, who have an opinion, who say, that is my opinion, that is my way to doing it, that is my content of the book I would write. And you ask the second one, and there's another content. Which one is the better one? We do not know. It's depending on the audience, on the target audience, and as well for the AI as well. AI is fast, but it's in the first place is very dumb. AI has no clue what to do. It's very fast to get new information, put them together, make an opinion up. And that is the way we started our conversation, to get our idea, our basic concept idea into the AI and say, that are the rule base which I would like to have you're working on. So is it nearly, do we just close the loop from the beginning a little bit?
I think so. You can challenge me on my concept. I still think you should have some basic ground of professionality and experience if you want to start whatever topic you want to go on. I think that is very important to at least lead the AI in the right direction. You should have a basic skills develop in creativity, asking the right questions. And I'm not talking about some prompting engineering. I'm talking about you. That is the power still of the humans, right? Creativity is the power of us. And there's the last part. So if you do all the prompting right now, it's all the AI chats, and you deliver some results, you should always double check it with some expert if you're on the right track. So the quality assurance should be always there. Maybe it's a German thing. I don't know. Maybe, but I highly suggested it, and maybe from my own experience, how AI helping me in the daily work. I recognize that I reduce my procrastination part a lot, right? Because at least in my job, I need to switch between topics which are like very far ahead, right? So you have one topic and then you need to switch to the other one, and it costs a norm of human CPU power to switch between the topics which you have. The easiest one is answering emails, but if you need to do some kind of sales decision, some kind of development decision, or maybe even go dive into marketing strategy, and this in 1 hour, it's very hard. So this is helping me a lot, because if you're stuck, that is how I would use it. You're stuck on any topic, go ask for the right question and you get the flow going. So in at least in my head, the flow start going faster in the right direction in this topic I am right now in. And so it gives me trigger points, right, where you usually stuck and think, okay, how can I avoid this work to continue?
I think that's a perfect segue in the second part of our conversation, right? So you mentioned already like leadership of AI is really important, right? So again, guys, we are challenging this always here, right? Yes, AI can do a lot of things, but some things you still have to lead the AI for. Otherwise, AI can tell you a lot of stuff, but it may lead you in the wrong direction if you don't know whether that is the right direction. You have to still steer it. So you have to be in leadership. Now, leadership, obviously, and you mentioned it already, like how do we use it in our daily work, right? Leadership is also a big thing in the workplace. So how do you see the future of the workplace with AI? Is it going to replace managers? Is it going to replace entire workforces? How do we adapt to those changes? Like, what's your stake on that?
First of all, I think we must adapt if you don't want to stay behind, right? So any company who is not right now implementing AI or thinking about implementation AI in daily business will be not here in maybe 5 years, or maybe their competitors will like enormously be ahead of them. So I think it's here. We have this technology. We must use it. We should use it. It would be very inefficient if you don't use it in your company. I think you just need to figure out what is the best way, how to skill your employees in this direction, how it can help in small tasks at the beginning so they see the benefit. And it's new, right? And everything what is new, we always put the devil approach on it. It's no, we cannot use it. It will substitute us. No, it will not right now. But you should never say no. But I think in the next 5 years we are fine. The whole process will be a transformation. So I think our jobs will be different, even in 5 years, completely different. And I still want to put the creativity a part of it. So if you and creative person or you develop the skill of creativity and you ask the right questions, I think you can be ahead of this transformation and be part of it, right? And be open, be very open to dive into it, because if not, then maybe your job will be in danger, right? So it's part of it. Right now, I was talking to a head of IT in a bigger company, which they have, I think, 200,000 employees, and they roll out the Microsoft Copilot, and it's working amazingly. So what you can see is when you send emails or receive emails, the quality is better, right? People don't misspell any words anymore, right? So you read fluently, you don't get stuck. That is what's happening to me when I read an email and I see, oh my God, he forgot big letters, small letters. I don't have the flow anymore. I like need to stop and I'm like, okay, why? The introduction of our schools is working, but it makes more sense. You can, if you write email, you don't need to read it. I read my emails like mostly 5 times before I send them, but you can run the Copilot. It's perfectly, I don't want to make any advertisement for Microsoft, but it's pretty nice integrated, and it helps already at least in the communication and generating documents, which makes it faster. So you have efficiency, but a beautiful flow of communication, at least on the email level, and that is helping out. And if you can embrace it on the next levels, beautiful. So I don't think that they will substitute the jobs right now in the next 5 years, but it will change a workplace enormously. And if you don't want to change, the question is if you will be still here, right?
Yeah, it will increase our life and it will increase the quality of our life. So I nearly make the same. Reading my emails, I will sending out to the world several times, and that is wasting time of my lifetime. I can do better. So even if I didn't do that, the message would be transported. But the other side, it's also a little bit of getting the respect of the other side to get everything well done. And if we get support from an assistant, that would be great. Even in the past, we have our human assistant who can do that and say, okay, that is a message. I would go out and please, secretary, send me the email or the letter to this person. So we currently already not changing our our way of working. We already go back to the old days where we have experts which can support us in the doing. And that is the AI part. So the complete replacement, I didn't see either. It will increase the quality of our life, and we should work on the quality of our life. And for sure, some of the works will be replaced completely. But if we are really looking into that, this work isn't make the world a better place. So all the work and which will make the world a better place for all of the other humans on the planet, that would not be replaced by the AI. That is a very strong statement. Can you agree with that?
Yes, I can. I can imagine. I mean, let's view it through a different point of view. There are jobs nobody likes them. Okay? And I personally don't like jobs which are recurring and I don't know, step by step, and you're doing all day long the same. So if you put me in a working environment where I need to do the same process and step by step every day, every hour, I will inside me first die and probably jump off the building and kill myself. Okay. If I could automate this kind of job, I would be very happy. So, and that is a chance, right? Right now we have the technology to do it, and we should do it, right? So there are jobs which we don't like. Maybe some people like. They can still do it. But most of us probably don't like this kind of jobs, and you should automate them somehow. And there are a lot of them, right? And maybe because we get freed up with that time for this kind of jobs, we become more happy and we can focus on different things. And maybe all the vision what we have right now in Germany, they try to put the 4 days week, and they're experimenting with this, so you only work for 4 days and enjoy 3 days of free time. Maybe that will even support this kind of work. Maybe we can even just work for 2 days and enjoy ourselves for 5 days because of this technology, and still we get the same payments. All right, could be the solution for this vision, what now it's going on. So yes, there will be maybe a few jobs not anymore, but I think these jobs nobody wants to do.
But I think, I mean, now I'm playing devil's advocate, okay? I started my career as an apprentice. I guarantee you there were many jobs, like, I mean, just talking about those types of tasks nobody wants to do, I was the one who had to do it. So I started my career in the very beginning. Right in the beginning of I was 18 years old, and we had a software migration happening. Like, our entire CRM system was migrated, and one of the tasks we had to do was data cleansing. Yeah! I mean, this is where I love AI. Just click the button and just normalize everything that fits by 80% together. Just do it, you know? Like, you used to do that manually. So, like, when somebody was spelled, like, I mean, we had some companies, so it was an energy company. So there were, like, building companies that owned, like, 1,000 flats, you know, but they were always spelled differently. And then you had, in order to have good reporting, you had to normalize these data to make sure that they always show up as the same company, right? That was the kind of nonsense I had to do when I was 18. Now, in Germany, we have a saying that when you are an apprentice, like, that's not the years where you get the cool work, right? That's the stuff where you do what nobody else wants to do. Now, looking at AI, those kinds of tasks don't really exist anymore. So does this require a different kind of management? Because, like, normally, like, you know, you give the apprentice the work that nobody else wants to do, and you just suck it up, because that's what you just do when you start your career, right? Now those kinds of tasks start to go away. So that means that even somebody who's starting out their career is supposed to do different kind of work, which, on the one hand, I think the young generation loves it. They don't even know those types of dirty jobs anymore we had to do, right? So I was like, a part of me is like, justice for everybody. You also have to go through that. We also, like, it builds character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it build character? Is it unnecessary? Like, sometimes I feel a little bit offended when I have, like, people who are like 20 years who haven't worked a day in their life, who are like, I don't want to do this task, you know, because this is below my honor. I was like, which honor? Like, you're starting out your career. What are you talking about? So what's your point on this? Do we have a different sense of value in of terms of types of activities in our life? Do we have to rethink the way we think about what builds character? Do we have to find other outlets to build character? Like, how do you see that?
I think it is an interesting topic. But I don't see it so heavily in AI related. I think it's the question of success. So my definition of success is if you set up any goal you like, you achieve it, right? So that is my definition of success. And it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe a healthy relationship, maybe become a beautiful artist where your art is flourishing, maybe a business, right? And I think to achieve any goal, you need this nice skill called discipline, right? And that is one of the, I would say, hidden secrets. And to build discipline, you need to learn doing things you don't like, right? Even if you don't feel doing it. So that is something if you want to learn, right? So you should do it. If I would be jealous of the new generation, they don't need to do it. I would not, right? It's a question if someone would like to achieve or train this kind of skill. So that could be this way, could be through any sport, could be a different way. So it's they will lose this kind of, let's call it, work ethic where you build discipline, right? So that is one thing what I see. Another one is the new generation is completely different. Okay, it's even I was raised liberal in my generation. The newer son is so interesting. So they have an opinion, they know everything already, And what you just said, I heard like it's a new generation. Why should I do this? Even for me, beyond my skill level, even you just came from the university or from school directly. I think that is based on the generation. It's maybe a little bit, I would even say it's arrogant because you never know what you don't know. And that is something which maybe through experience you realize someday.
Yeah, thank you very much to give us the secret source of success already. And yeah, I totally agree with that. And it's about the structure how to get to a point, and it's not about the content. And that is also a concept out there to understand the structure of everything, of success, of certain things, how we are doing the right writing, how we are doing fast reading. It's all about the structure to get to that. And that is the important part to learn. And also, if we are going back several hundred years, something like that, there were also works which we are not doing today. So creating 1,000 of nails to get to the wooden houses, these are done today by machines already. It's not an AI, it's a machine, but it's the same. We are just doing it with the industry machines. We are now doing this with knowledge. So we are able to set up the next step and to start at a higher level and to become faster in evolving our knowledge and in evolving our strategy tool set. And I guess we can completely agree that the tool set for the strategy, that is the important part. To understand the tool set, I would say, as Mona said, it is important to do it one time manually. But will I really do it for months? Or is it only necessary to do it a few hours to understand the concept? Then is everything good and we can go further. And we are not allowed to be arrogant. We need to do that to have the understanding to learn that. I like that. Hopefully we make our audience happy with this conversation as well, and we are really go deep dive into some.
And I think this last point you just mentioned, I think this is important to highlight. Human desires don't change. I also believe, I mean, I played devil's advocate, right? I also believe that the new generation has a certain desire to learn certain things, right? I don't think they want to skip over everything. I still see that every human being has a desire to grow, right? To develop as a person. That's in our nature, right? So I think those, and I think that's the thing we shouldn't forget. With all the technology, with all the automations we have, we're still humans, and humans tick in a certain way. So psychology doesn't really change, even though we use different means. And I think that's like the common denominator we always have to keep in mind, to say like, even if things change, frameworks change, we don't have to do certain things anymore. Some things you just want to do. You could probably automate all your cooking, but if you enjoy cooking, you will still do it because it's giving you fun. It's giving you a certain type of satisfaction, right? So why would you let a machine do it if you enjoy doing it yourself? And I think it's more about teaching the new generation to figure out what they enjoy actually and give them a chance to get to it, right? And then develop their skills in those areas.
And I would say that it is also important that somebody would do the cooking and enjoy it, because with this done, they creating the new strategies, the new concepts, and there's a development, and it's again about creativity. If these people are not there, we are stuck. With that, the machine will replicate everything and we get all the same food all the day long. We will alive, yes, but the quality of life would be better with the persons who have a passion for doing that.
And we also know what happens to humans when they get bored. They do nonsense. So it's in our all livelihoods interest to not get bored as a human, right?
So just maybe a quick question at the end to you guys. So what I hear out from you guys is, are we going now, or our society is going to a direction of, let's call it, more time, more freedom, and better quality, and we can all pursue our passion because of AI technology?
You want to go first?
It's a very interesting starting point to add more technology to our lives to become more human who is living with the world we are in. So we are disconnected from the world from my point of view. We are really disconnected. We are living a life who is not, for a lot of people, are not very happy. And now and that's because we are using technology. We are using houses. We are not outside in the nature. We are disconnected from the nature, from the spiritual world, we can say. As ITler, we already have a connection with that as well. Most of the people outside didn't know that, but that is a fact. It's very interesting. And now we are increasing technology and we are using more technology to get back to our roots, to back to the connection. And that is a very interesting thought. I didn't thought before today so deeply about that, but that could be a chance to us as.
I agree, but I also see another point of it, and I think it is like a Damocles sword, like it could flip in both directions. I think that technology enables us to be more self-determined, to be more, like make decisions for ourselves, where maybe before we didn't have the feeling like we could be doing that. So there is more freedom, but with freedom comes responsibility. And I think a big chunk of humanity is not really ready or willing to take on responsibility. I think and this is not a bad thing in any way, right? I mean, we always used to say, like, I worked with a lot of entrepreneurs, and one of my old managers used to say, if everybody is a captain, like, then you have no soldiers to execute the stuff, right? So you need some soldiers. I mean, there's no bad thing in it, right? I mean, my brother is a controller. He would never want to be an entrepreneur because he's like, I just want to get my job, I want to go home to my family, and then I just want to have my silence. I just want to get my money in the bank, and that's it, right? And I don't want anything else. And there are many people out there who are like, I just want to live my life. Now, with AI taking over a lot of things, I mean, this happened previously. I'm not doubting that we will find a way to manage that, right? But it happened previously with the industrialization, right? That suddenly a whole bunch of skills was not needed anymore and you had to learn new skills. But a similar thing is happening right now to the knowledge worker. So there will be a lot of jobs that may not necessarily be needed anymore. There has to be a different kind of outlet and a little bit of self-responsibility of where do I take my life now? Do I find a way to make so much money I don't have to work anymore? Will there be a societal concept that if there is no work for you, again, when humans get bored, they do crazy things, right? So also from a state point of view, there has to be some kind of activity for humans. So will it be that everybody gets a certain kind of income to make sure that everybody gets, food and shelter and all of this, and that they make activities to keep people busy? I don't really know how this will look like, but it will go in a certain way, right? And we will just have to find out. And I mean, the question will be, will people, humans, be willing to also take on that responsibility? And what happens if not? I think that's a question that will be very interesting to see.
May I? I think that is an interesting two sides of it. I was like on Andre's vision, like we have more time now, we can go back to the roots and and see how it goes, right? And connect more to nature, maybe connect more to spirituality. Do you really think it will happen? I have more time now. Will I not use it to go the easiest way? Oh, I have now more time for Instagram, Facebook, I don't know, all the social media part, Netflix, streaming, and try to enjoy myself much more.
Is it really enjoying? It's a short part. For me, it's a little bit enjoying, but if it becomes too long, it's wasting time, and I feel not better after that. If I go deep down in the rabbit hole of Instagram and I see, oh, I just spent 45 minutes on it, it doesn't feel good. I saw a lot and it didn't help me to get further, and I didn't help any other one. If I go for a certain amount on it to help other people, to make comments, to suggest, then it's okay. Also with going to Netflix, yeah, I can enjoy one movie. But if I spend all the day on Netflix, at the end of the day, I'm exhausted I guess. I didn't do that a long time. I'm pretty sure I'm exhausted and I'm not happy about this day. I didn't collect memories from my book of life. This day is wasted. And that is the part. And currently, I would suggest that it could happen that the people using this starting point to get to a point where they have the conclusion that is wasting time. They need to have the experience. So it could happen 1 year, 2 years to really live such a life. But after that, they need to pivot to another life. Otherwise, they will die, I guess.
And yeah, so may I summarize it?
Please.
We have now a big opportunity to get back our time, which we are usually losing, let's call it through work, some of us. And if we use this opportunity in the right way, we will not waste our time anymore with consumption of, let's call it social media and entertainment or different entertainment. And maybe we make this switch back to be grounded again and be, let's call it, in sync with each other and with the world. Nice.
Thank you so much. I really like it. And I guess with that said, we can close the session today. I really enjoy it. Thank you very much, Gregor, that you have the time for us to be with us here. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was an honor. Thank you so much. I could join you guys. You are amazing people. I thank you that I could pick your brain a bit, both of you, because you have such a different characters. I love it so much, and it's inspiring me every time we talk to each other.
Thank you so much. And guys, if you're listening until here, I mean, first of all, thank you for staying until the end. We really appreciate that. And make sure that you like it. Make sure you share it. Make sure, forward this conversation to people that you think could add value or should listen to that, right? People who are working with that kind of topic or who should be working with that topic and are not doing it yet. So feel free to forward it to them and let us know your feedback, right? So send us your questions, send us your feedback, your responses, and let us know if Gregor shall come back maybe with other topics. I'm pretty sure he can talk more on AI, so just let us know and we have no problem doing that. With that, guys, thank you so much for today's, for tuning in today, and we see us back next week with another amazing topic. Thank you so much, Gregor.
Thank you. Bye.